Hi, this is Luis Souza from rawveganpower.com, and we are here today with a very charming guest, Diana Stobo from dianastobo.com. We are here in her site and we can see lots of fantastic things she has to share about the raw vegan diet. And she has two books, Get Naked Fast, which is the most famous, and Naked Bliss. You can see here that she has videos about recipes and lots of great stuff that you should look. Here we are in the page of the Naked Challenge. And the next challenge, it will be beginning on April 14th. And it's amazing because you can lose 10 pounds in just 10 days. And you can see here pictures of Diana. She, sometime before, losing 100 pounds. Well, after this little introduction, I'll get back here to my face. And welcome, Diana Stobo. It's so great to have you here today.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Well, I know that you have told your story many times, but I think it's always good to let people know it because it's fantastic. Could you introduce yourself, saying when and how did you started in a raw vegan diet, please?
Absolutely. Well, I was very sick. I was overweight, and I had been to the doctor. Tons of medications were coming my way, and that was the only cure, it seemed, was to get medicine. And I realized I had this moment where I thought, what's really causing my body harm? So I started to take out the foods that were weighing me down. No dairy, no wheat, no sugar, no meat, no caffeine, and no alcohol. And within 10 days, I lost 10 pounds. My body felt better. I was more alive. My energy was soaring. I slowly started to wean myself off of the medications that I was taking, and then ultimately began a raw lifestyle. The raw lifestyle, I was 100% raw vegan for a year plus, so maybe 3 years in total, which completely transformed my body, my mind, my DNA. I'm a completely different person. And now I live more what I call naked. So I'm raw 80% of the time, and I allow myself the ability to live in the real world and able to choose and be very conscious of the origin of the foods that I put into my body. So if I'm going to eat something that isn't on that list, I make sure it's the best possible product and where it came from.
So the advice that you give people who are still in your the situation that you were, is get naked fast,
Well,
right?
I actually wrote a book. Yeah, I actually wrote a book. It's my life story. In fact, I have a publisher looking at it right
Fantastic.
now. And it took up a whole year of my life to really realize that I ended up exactly where I'm supposed to be, to tell my story. But that book is called My Body Naked, because I realized that
Oh,
I wanted to feel good in my body naked. And that's what everybody wants to feel. So somebody found me and said, this book is phenomenal. Start talking. So I started lecturing around the country. And they said, can you put together a pamphlet, a guide, something that can help me get naked fast? And so
fantastic.
that's how Get Naked Fast was created. And it was an immediate sensation. It was like on the top charts in Amazon. I self-published, so I didn't hit the New York Times bestseller, but out of the back of my car, it sold nearly 30,000 copies within a year, which is huge. And it's kind of become a hit. It is being resurrected. I just created the juiced up edition. So I added a whole section on special juices. So the new book coming out will be a special edition. And then I wrote Naked Bliss because my kids were living at home and they liked milkshakes and ice cream, and I didn't want to give them any more dairy. So I teamed up with Coconut Bliss, and they make fabulous ice cream, and started making milkshakes with superfoods. Like, what are you going to do with superfoods? So I made another book. And my intention is to continue, and I have so many more just sitting in my brain and in my computer ready to roll.
and it is fantastic, this concept of naked, because I think most people who overeat, they overeat, but as a secret. They don't want to show other people that they are really overeating because they go to the refrigerator during the night or maybe like this. Yeah, and then when they are naked or maybe wearing trunks or a bikini, you can see it. It's not, you can't hide it, right? It's
Well,
fantastic.
Luis, the thing is food is a drug. If it's not good food, it's a drug. And usually we overeat because there's something that's not fulfilled in our life. So what I am is I'm a mind-body nutritionist. So I nourish the mind as well as the body. And we know that we can eat good food to make our body stronger and better. But if our mind is not good, then we can't get better. It's just a temporary fix. So people who are hiding they're only hiding from themselves, nobody else.
And it's interesting because I saw a video of yours with your brother, and he said that he was craving raw foods. And this is very interesting because most people crave lots of bad foods, processed foods, cooked foods, and dairy and meat and so on. And then when I saw that video, I felt, well, this is happening to me, and it's possible. You can crave good things as well, right?
Well, if you consider sugar is a drug, sugar numbs your real true feelings, right? Keeps you in the cloud, keeps you in the dark. Alcohol, breads keep you kind of in that, disguise. Raw food gives you a similar drug effect, except it's the feel-good drug. It's like, I want to feel good. I'm going to go have a green juice. I'm going to have a smoothie. And then you get addicted to actually feeling good. Now, when you first start changing your diet from the old way to raw food, eating like, cookies, crackers, whatever, meats, hamburgers, and then you switch to raw food, there's a lot of pain that you have to go through to get to the feel good, because you can't hide anymore. You can't hide your feelings. You can't hide your emotions. You can't hide anymore. There's no disguises. It's right there in front of you. But once you get there, it feels so good. You want more. You do.
And with the Naked Challenge, by what I understood, you are helping people to pass through the same situation that you passed, right? Because you lost 10 pounds in the first 10 days, right?
Exactly, exactly. Well, the Naked Challenge is, yes, exactly that. It's challenging yourself. So I create a guideline and structure with recipes and a menu, but I also have a workbook that works through the mind. And we have calls every night that talks through what we're feeling, what we're going through during the process. It's not just about the food. So I wish I had had that support when I was going through
Right.
it. But the beautiful thing is it depends on where you're starting. If you start, if you're coming in saying, I'm just going to green juice the whole time, then that's what it is. If you come in and say, I'm just going to eat what's in the Naked Challenge as in food, that's good too. Everybody has equal success, no matter what angle they choose, whether it's just green juices or full meals. So because they're learning how to strip away old toxic waste, not just the foods, but the waste, the emotional stuff that lingers, that holds us hostage in our bodies.
Actually, this emotional stuff is very important because it's the beginning of everything, right?
Very
If
important.
you, yeah. And what happens after the challenge? I mean, people need some support because 10 days you can get the results, but I was wondering maybe someone would get back to old habits, right?
Absolutely. Well, usually they're given a lot of tools to learn. We talk about that the entire time. But when you join the Naked Challenge, you get 1 month free in my naked zone. And what the naked zone is it's a community area where you get support videos, recipes, all that. But the most important thing is you get to talk to me twice a month.
Right.
So your support is right there. It's like going in and checking in. You know, Weight Watchers has it, Jenny Craig has it, all the good facilities have their support system. So they just come in and they check in twice a week, twice a month, ask whatever they want. If nobody talks, they get the whole floor. They get an entire hour to themselves. And that's what we do. We sit there for an hour and we discuss anything anybody wants to discuss. And it's personal, very personal.
Yeah, and this it's very important, because if you don't have this support, maybe you will not be strong enough to really sustain your decision about this diet, because the world is so crazy, right? And what about your coaching? Because you have a program for coaching as well, right? To really support people.
I do. Those are private coaching, and usually, people want it. They're private. They don't necessarily want. They feel alone, is why they get private coaching. They don't realize that there's a lot of people going through the exact same thing, and they want to be validated. They want to have. They want to understand why and how they got to where they are, and why and how they can get out of it. So we get to the heart of it. There's a lot of deep evaluation, intuitive evaluation, and I would say everybody comes out with a greater experience than they had hoped for. So,
fantastic.
Yeah, it's good.
I know that, and you have a whole structure to help people, to really help professionally and with a very personal touch, right?
Yes.
I'm really impressed about that.
Thank you.
And I understood that you was in the Raw Living Expo 2013, right? It's a fantastic event. Could you share something about that too, please?
You know what? That was such a great event, because they took it. I don't know if you've ever been to any of the
Not yet.
So the Best of Raw started a few years ago, and I actually was I was a chef in the Best of Raw chocolate. So I sent in my product, and I did well. And it was this little tiny hole in the wall in Los Angeles. It was just a courtyard of it's like a little festival. And it's grown so much that they had a full-on event going on. I was emceeing the event, which, I love to do, because you put me on stage and I'll never shut up. So it was good.
You were the MC this year too?
I was the MC this year as well, yes.
Oh, because in 2012 you were the MC, right?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. And this year was really nicely done. There was a huge production. Yeah.
I saw something about it on the internet and on the site as well, right?
Yeah.
The rawlivingexpo.com.
Yeah, it was good. I think it was live streaming the whole time. You didn't have a chance to watch it?
No, I didn't. But I think they did it. You are right. Yeah, some parts were online in real time. That's fantastic.
I can't wait to see next year. I think they're doing a great job. I can't wait to see next year's event. I'm very excited.
Yeah, I would love to go, and I intend to go someday. I'm not sure if I'm going next year, but I intend to go.
Eventually.
And what do you envision for the future of the raw vegan movement?
Well,
because it's growing, right?
Yeah, I think that in all fairness, I think that it's not really a movement anymore. I mean, it's moving. It's definitely moving. It's no longer pushing. I've been part of this for the last 8-10 years from the very beginning, and I remember when it was like pushing a rock uphill, and now I was just driving down the street and I saw this woman drinking a green juice with her kids in the car. I'm like, yes, people get it. You know, you have to ingest your health. You have to take charge of your own health. So that's beautiful. Um, my goal and where I'm headed is mainstream America. I'm a spokesperson for the NutriPro juicer, which
Oh,
just came out.
fantastic.
Yes, and that actually it's an infomercial that came out a few weeks ago, but we're redoing it because we really want to talk about juicing, not the juicer. Yeah, the juicer will sell itself. We want people to buy into juicing. We want people to understand what juicing does for your body. And the only way to do that is to show you that you can transform your life by juicing. We've seen people do it. People have healed themselves of disease. I certainly have. So it's going to be a very, I believe it's going to be a very progressive, beautiful infomercial that touches a lot of people. And I'm excited about that, ultimately leading to more television for me. I know that I see myself as the raw Martha Stewart. So
Oh,
that's
fantastic.
so that's the direction in which I'm going. And
I really hope that you make your dream come true.
thank you. It's not, it's so not about me. It's really about getting the message out. And
That's right.
unfortunately, along the way, there's business and there's things that you have to take care of. But at the end of the day, my destiny is to do this. So I'm putting all my resources and all my mental resources and all my energy into it because I believe in it. I believe that we need to be healed, and someone's got to do it.
It's better that that's you then.
Someone's got to
Well,
do it.
well, talking about your resources, your mental resources and so on. This is my last question to you. In one sentence, how do you define the power that you get from raw foods?
In one sentence,
Yeah,
simple. Uh, Raw food makes life worth living.
fantastic. Life,
That's a
that's good.
tagline, not a sentence. It makes you feel alive.
It makes me feel alive. Fantastic. Thank you, Diana. That's you summarize a concept here. It's
Yeah.
fantastic. Well, it was a pleasure to talk to you, and I hope we do it again. If you have something else to maybe a new product or remodeling your blog, as you told that it
Yeah,
could
well, no,
be.
thank you. I will tell you right now that I manufacture nut milk bags to make nut milks. And that,
Oh,
yeah, and I've been doing that. I've been doing that for the last 4 years, 5 years, and uh, because there weren't any good nut milk bags that would stay strong for very long. So I started making them myself, and they're everywhere now. They're in all the markets and trying to get them internationally done so that people can have them readily available in the grocery store. You buy your nuts, you buy your nut milk bag, you make your nut milk. So it's nice that a lot of people have switched from dairy to nut milks, but the boxed stuff is still processed. And there's no reason for us to be eating processed foods when we know better and we have all the ability to make it ourselves.
sure.
Um, yeah, so
Maybe we could do something especially about that then.
that'd be great. Absolutely. Would love to.
Thank you so much, Diana. Well, and you who are watching, go now to dianastobo.com and the Naked Challenge.com and take advantage of the great opportunity that you have because the next challenge is beginning on April 14th. Okay, it's in some days. Thank you so much, Diana. See you.
Excellent. Thank you, Luis.
Bye bye.
Bye.